Lamar better than Vic? Yes. I'm taking Lamar Jackson over Michael
Larry
Vick.
Bird never had a bad season.
Jamar Chase is going to have 15 touchdowns.
He may still be the best player in the world. Sports fans, we are live. Welcome to the Sports Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, OG the Beast. Listen, I'm happy to be here on this beautiful Tuesday night. Whoever decides to join me, I love you back. I know y'all here because y'all love me. And love should always be reciprocated. Hey, NFL Sunday, Thursday, Monday was spontaneous this week. What a hell of a way to kick off opening week of the NFL. If you're on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, whatever social media platform you are on, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that sub button. Support your boy, man. It's free to do so, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It definitely supports the channel, and I love each and every one of you guys for tuning in whenever you do, whoever does. But like I said, week one of the NFL was amazing. I fell in love with what I saw as a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of shit that we didn't expect happened. You know, a lot of things that we could pretty much put a finger on did happen. Rookies were great. Today we're going to get into, some of the games. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of what some teams showed us. We're going to talk about some of the rookies. We're going to talk about my 5 takeaways from week one, which is probably going to be majority of the show. And then on the back end, we're going to finish off with OG's top performers. Now, I want to jump this show off with this. Sometimes when it comes to the NFL, being good is better than being special, right? Everybody's always looking for special in a player, especially the quarterback position. We want special. Caleb Williams is what I'm talking about. He was supposed to be or looked at prior to the draft as a generational talent, somebody that can change the entire dynamic of your franchise. Not to say that he hasn't or doesn't have the potential to still do so, but I'm going to be honest. I don't like what I've been seeing as of lately. We've had a lot of Caleb Williams last year to see what he can do. He's got the new head coach, right? Ben Johnson, that offense he brought with him from Detroit. Detroit looked bad. They've implemented that in Chicago, and it looks good at times, but then you're looking like, not so much, right? So like I said, sometimes it's better to be good than it is to be special. Caleb Williams is what we called special. And you could see it 2 or 3 times a game where you say, man, okay, that's why they took him with the number 1 pick right there. You see him roll out to the left, open his hips, throw it in a tight window to a guy. And you say, that's why the Bears took him with the first pick. I see it now. But then you got these guys that were in this draft, and I live in Chicago, and it's been a lot of rumblings. Like I said, it's still too early to decide. But you got these guys in this draft, the Drake Mays, the Jaden Daniels, the Bo Nix. Spencer Rattler started, and he looked decent. Michael Penix looked decent in his, week 1 start. And guys are starting to say, man, did we get the wrong guy again? Like I said, I'm hearing that, me living in Chicago. Do I like to believe that to be the case? Absolutely not, because I feel like everything is in place for this team to flourish. That game that we witnessed against his counterpart, J.J. McCarthy, albeit these guys still being young, I don't like what I saw from Caleb Williams. I'm going to reiterate this. Sometimes it's better to be good than special. Jared Goff is good. He's not special. But he was successful under Ben Johnson. Tom Brady wasn't special. Peyton Manning wasn't special. But those guys were winners, and they were smart between the ears. They knew what to do situationally. And to me, when I watched Caleb Williams throughout the first half, he played with a lot of structure throughout the system. A lot of guys like to poke fun at quote-unquote system quarterbacks, right? But Caleb Williams in the first half was almost perfect, played an immaculate ball game. I love what I saw from Caleb. Then in the second half, he started to unravel. It was the complete opposite for J.J. McCarthy. He was unraveling, looked discombobulated the entire first half for actually 3/4 of the game. Then in the fourth quarter, he started to get it together. They started to develop a game plan, and they started to put the ball into the end zone, right? To me, a great comparison to Caleb Williams and his special would be Superman with red kryptonite attached to him, right? You could talk about kryptonite and how it affects Superman. It affects him differently in each Superman series you watch. But the one I love, my favorite Superman series, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, what I grew up on, right? The way red kryptonite affected Superman was it made his powers uncontrollable. His laser eyes would go off without him wanting it to. He'd be flying erratically, can't control his flight pattern. When he try to land, he'd go through the ground because he's landing too hard. He can't control himself. That's Caleb Williams at times with his special. When Caleb Williams is sitting in the pocket and he's a system quarterback and he's abiding by the system that Ben Johnson has created for this Bears offense, they look stout. Then when things start to unravel, Caleb Williams starts to become Superman with red kryptonite attached to him. He can't control his superpowers. But the reason why the Bears drafted him is because he has those superpowers. That's why I say sometimes it's better to be good than it is to be special. Not being able to control your superpowers has become an issue. We saw it in this game against the Minnesota Vikings. Caleb Williams unraveled in the second half of this ball game. They couldn't move the football. They couldn't convert on third down. And here we have J.J. McCarthy making exceptional plays down the stretch, finally figuring out, hey, I got an all-pro and arguably the best wide receiver in the league in Justin Jefferson. Let me just throw him the football. And it ended up working for these guys. 90% of teams win a game after getting a pick six. If you get a pick six in this game, if your defense puts up 6 points on the board through an interception, 90% of NFL teams win that game. The Chicago Bears found a way to lose this game. The score was 17-6 for the longest, and you felt like if the Bears got one more score, or even if during the duration of the game nothing else happened, the Bears should be able to pull this out. Not because of how well they were playing, but because of how bad Minnesota looked in this game. And then something just flicked for J.J. McCarthy. I don't know if it was special, like we just talked about, or if it was him gathering his thoughts, realizing the situation that he's in, and saying, hey, let's put your nuts on the concrete and let's roll. 21 points J.J. McCarthy and his Minnesota Vikings offense scored just in the fourth quarter alone. Most points scored in a fourth quarter in a rookie debut. Right? I don't know what to expect moving forward from Caleb Williams, but I do know this. He looked good when playing within the system. But when he started to improvise and become Superman, become Josh Allen, become Lamar Jackson, it looked bad. And he should stay far, far away from that. He needs to find a way to remain being coached at all times. Because if you let him be Brett Favre and draw his own plays up and improvise, it's not a good look for the Chicago Bears. And we saw that in the second half of this game, and look what happened. They ended up losing. Usually, quarterback versus quarterback, especially if both of these guys are young, the quarterback that overcomes adversity in that game will be the one to win that game. And we saw both quarterbacks go through adversity in that game. We saw the ups from Caleb, then the downs from Caleb in the second half. How did he overcome? He didn't, all right? We saw the downs from J.J. McCarthy in the first half, then we saw the ups from J.J. McCarthy in the fourth quarter. That's how he responded to that adversity, right? Caleb Williams played solid to me. Solid, but not number one pick solid. By year two, we're expecting to see some type of maturation from Caleb Williams, and losing a game like this looked very, very bad. And if I'm a Chicago Bears fan, I'm very, very worried about what I saw. And I know it's just week one, but that's definitely a salad that needs some addressing. Let's just keep it a buck here, right? Let's keep it a buck. NFL was a crazy week. The other guys look better now, yeah, no doubt. NFL was definitely crazy. It was an incredible jump off. I had fun watching it, you know, and I'm definitely about to have fun talking about it because week by week, it's not gonna do anything but get better. Week by week, this is definitely gonna get better. You know, I love what I saw. All right. 5 takeaways from NFL Week 1. Number 1, winning games in the NFL is already hard, people. But it's even harder to close out games. We just talked about this with the Caleb Williams situation, his inability to close that game out, unraveling in the third and the fourth quarter. The Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. This is something we definitely got to sit here and talk about. Because to me, in my opinion, the Baltimore Ravens lost this game more than the Buffalo Bills won this game. I love the winning probability stat. I do. I love the winning probability stat because it shows me how big of an implosion this was. Baltimore, y'all were capricio. Everybody wants somebody to blame for this game. Jair Alexander. Blame the head coach and for the lack of play calling. Blame Lamar Jackson for not getting it done, his lack of execution. Blame Derrick Henry for fumbling the ball at the most inopportune time. To me, it's a collective unit because the defense was ass the entirety of the game. Credit Jair Alexander. Everybody cooked Jair Alexander in that game. Everybody got a plate. They lined up. It was a buffet line, and Jair Alexander was serving. Let's keep it a buck. The defense was god-awful. The offense was moving the unit. They were scoring points to keep up with the Buffalo Bills. But this is what makes this game such a disgrace, right? In favor of the Baltimore Ravens. Even with all of that being said, I still think Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen. He just didn't exhibit it in this game. But I still feel that way, right? The Baltimore Ravens had a 40-25 lead with 5 minutes left in the game. 40-25. And what happened? Right? What happened? Josh Allen comes down, scores a touchdown. Baltimore gets the ball back. Derrick Henry fumbles. Everybody's, oh, shit, what's going on? Derrick Henry doesn't do this. He fumbles the football. Josh Allen goes down again, scores. I think that's the tip drill to Keon Coleman in the back of the end zone. It's a 2-point ball game at this point. They go for 2, they don't get it, I think. They go for 2, they don't get it. It's a 2-point ball game. Baltimore gets the ball back with a minute and some change left. They can close this out. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to late games, close game situation. Great quarterbacks show up. Lamar Jackson has the ball with an opportunity to overcome every mistake that they just made in the past 4 minutes, and what happens? They can't convert on third down. Now they're forced to punt the ball back to a dangerous offense in Buffalo and hope with the minute and a half left, they can't march down the field and do exactly what they did. Josh Allen took that ball, marched down the field, and kicked the field goal to win the game by 1 point. Winning in the NFL is hard, ladies and gentlemen, but when you're supposed to be an elite level talent like Lamar, when you're supposed to be an elite level offense like the Baltimore Ravens, top 5 offense considered to be in the league, albeit Josh Allen, same thing, you're supposed to win this game. Ravens had a 99.1% win probability with under 5 minutes left in this game. As great as Lamar Jackson is, as great as Harbaugh is, as great as the Baltimore Ravens offense is, let me tell y'all something. Jalen Hurts doesn't lose this game. If put in this position, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles do not lose this game. Do you hear me? Y'all could talk all y'all want about my quarterback and what he do and what he don't do. I'm going to tell you just like this for the third time. If put in this position that the Baltimore Ravens were in, Jalen Hurts does not lose this football game. I promise you that. That is why he's a top 5 quarterback. And that's real talk. That's just how I feel about it. The Ravens have lost 3 games with having 90% chance to win, and since they've drafted Lamar. I mean, like I say, sometimes it's better to be good than it is to be special. Lamar Jackson is special. And like I said, I still feel like Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen, but he did not show it in this game. That's just keeping it a buck. So blame whoever the hell you want to blame, but to me, this is a collective effort here. The Baltimore Ravens won this game way more than the Buffalo Bills, or the Baltimore Ravens lost this game way more than the Buffalo Bills won this game. This is a classic choke performance for the Baltimore Ravens. Classic. And it's pretty much indicative of who they've been since drafting Lamar Jackson. As great as he is and as much as he has to do in that offense, when it's repping time, when it's winning time, when it's time to close these games out, they shrink in a moment. That's been exactly who they've been. All right, number 2. Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, he might be washed. I'm looking at the Kansas City Chiefs play defense, and I'm thinking to myself, I said, damn, where's the balance? Steve Spagnuolo got completely dominated by the Chargers because the defense sold out to stop the run, which everybody in the building knows the Chargers love to run the football. Everybody in the building knows Harbaugh loves to run the football. We know they got an offensive line built for the run. We know they got 2 running backs built to be workhorses. Everybody knows that they want to run the football. But my question is, why does Steve Spagnuolo always lean 100% in one direction? Where's the balance? You showed me the same shit in the Super Bowl against my Eagles. Y'all sold out to stop the run. You didn't make any adjustments after you started to stop the run, thinking that that was your path to victory. And what happened? Jalen Hurts lit y'all up. This is exactly what happened in this game. Y'all sold out to stop Omarion Hampton, Najee Harris, and that offensive line from running this ball down your throat. You did that successfully. But what happened on the back end? Justin Herbert put a hole in y'all ass. 3rd down, Keenan Allen went off. Ladd McConkey out of the slot went off. Quentin Johnston went off. Everybody had a piece of that Steve Spagnuolo pie that he was baking up, and this lack of adjustments in these games is ridiculous. You don't gotta go all the way right, bruh. Where's the balance in your schematic play calling? Where's the balance in your game plan? Or if you see going all the way right to stop the run isn't working, why haven't you pivoted to try to stop what they've been doing? Because I'm seeing what y'all doing. I'm seeing it. Everybody in the building knew the Chargers wanted to run the football, and you still didn't make any adjustments to slow Justin Herbert down. And guess what it did? It cost y'all the game. Steve Spagnuolo, sir, you might be washed. Get out of your ways and make the right plays because it's hurting your team. Kansas City's defense will be in trouble this year if Spags doesn't get his shit together on the defensive side, because this is an elite level group defensively. This is definitely an elite level group, right? And Spags is an elite level coach. I just need to see better from him because he didn't exhibit it in this game. He won't deviate from his game plan. It's crazy. You could just sit here and just watch what's going on with Spags, and he doesn't deviate from his game plan at all. And it's irritating to watch because I'm sitting here looking at this shit like, why are they stacking the box? At some point, you got to realize Herbert is the guy you should be game planning for now. You didn't realize it. And what happened? It cost you the game. Just like you didn't realize Jalen Hurts was the guy you should have been game planning for. And what happened? It cost you the game. Kansas City, y'all better get that shit together. Number 3, Aaron Rodgers still got it. Old-ass 40-some-year-old A-Rod came out here and looked like 30-some-year-old MVP A-Rod. The man led the Pittsburgh Steelers in an opening night win, throwing 4 touchdowns. Everybody thought it was going to be the DK Metcalf show. No, Aaron Rodgers was slicing and dicing these boys up. Slicing and dicing his former team. He tried to play crazy at the end of the game and tried to act like, oh, it really didn't mean that much. I didn't play in a Jets uniform that long. Damn that. I seen his mannerisms. I was watching him talk and communicate with them players and coaches. This win meant something. Not only did he want to show the fans what it was, but he wanted to show that coaching staff and that organization that thought he wasn't shit no more what he really could do. And he was spreading that pill out left and right. Everybody got a plate at the Aaron Rodgers buffet line. Everybody ate. I liked what I saw from this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. I'm not going to hold you. He knew he wanted to stick it to them boys. You know what I'm saying? Him and DK, it started off a little rusty. DK dropped a few passes, but I think they'll be okay. DK, he's a talented receiver. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be fine. But the fact that he found consistency and dotting everybody up on the field, wide receiver wise, I'm like, ooh, this is scary. He's passing the ball to guys I didn't even know was on a roster. I say, go, Aaron, go, Aaron, go. But on the other end of that, Justin Fields looked amazing. Justin Fields, look, I had a take the last episode of this podcast where I said I made a list of 5 guys, not on the hot seat, but who had a lot to prove this season. Justin Fields made that list, right? Because if he doesn't look good, not only in the debut, but throughout the rest of the duration of the season, if he doesn't look at least like something the Jets can build off of, he might be a career backup after this season. But he came out here and was sparking. I love what I saw from Justin Fields to the point to where I thought they was going to win this game if it wasn't for a Boswell 60-yard field goal. They win this game. Justin Fields played incredibly well. Him and G5 look like they never skipped a beat since college. And I love what I saw from this game in general. This is one of the better games. This is what I'm saying, man. Week 1 was cracking between the Ravens game and this game. And what I saw from a lot of the rookies, this week 1 was one of the better week 1s that I've ever seen throughout me watching football. And I've been watching football for damn near 30 years. Real talk. This was incredible from what I saw from Aaron Rodgers. He looks like he's in MVP form. Can he be consistent enough to repeat, not this, but on a more serviceable level? You know, because they do like to run the football over there in Pittsburgh. They got a plethora of running backs that they like to use. Kenneth Gainwell looked to be the guy over there. Shout out to Kenneth Gainwell, former Philadelphia Eagle. He got a lot of touches over there. He got a lot of work out of that backfield. They got Warren over there. They got Caleb Johnson, the draftee. They got over there. They like to run the football. Aaron Rodgers was there to be kind of like a game manager, but damn it, he looks like he's doing a little bit more than managing that game. So I love what I saw from Aaron Rodgers. What was that? That was 3. Number 4, it looks like the Tennessee Titans have their guy. Now, I watched the entirety of this game from rookie Cam Ward, and not from a statistical standpoint, really, but I'm not worried about that. I'm watching it from the mistakes he made, how many of them he made. Are the coaches in his corner, play calling wise? Are they being smart? What does he look like during adversity, when he faces adversity? And for the most part, I like what I saw from Cam Ward. He did make mistakes because that's what rookies do. One thing I will point to, though, in this game that I did not like, that I feel like the head coaches didn't do him a job. The offensive coordinator, Nick Foles, didn't do him any justice with, right? It was a sequence. It was a series where the Tennessee Titans started off on their own 5-yard line, right? So they pinned inside of the 20. Usually in those situations, we like to run the ball out of that. Offensive coordinator Nick Foles decided to call 3 straight passing plays to get themselves out of that hole, almost giving up a safety in the midst of doing so. I don't like that, and I think that worked against everything football stands for. It's common sense play calling that needs to be had. Sometimes guys like to get too cute in certain situations. Just run the football. Tony Pollard had a hell of a game. He looked great with the football, looked like a true workhorse. Put the ball in his hands and create some space for your young quarterback to work with. Y'all didn't gain a yard in that series. Literally, it was a series inside of the 5-yard line. 3 straight running plays and a punt. That's just bad play calling, in my opinion. And I know you got your flashy new toy and you want to show it off and you want to do this and do that. The play calling needed to be better in this game, albeit against an elite level Broncos defense. It may be the best defense in the league. I don't know. Definitely top 3, top 5. So I'm also judging what I saw from Cam Ward based on the level of difficulty, because this was a very, very hard debut game for any rookie. I don't give a damn who you are, right? Like I say, he made a few mistakes as a rookie, like getting himself sacked out of field goal range. That was another series. This was a close game throughout the duration, and they had an opportunity to put 3 points on the board, I believe, to take the lead. If I'm not mistaken, it was a 1-point game. They had an opportunity to take the lead, called a few passing plays, and Cam Ward got himself sacked out of field goal range, I believe, twice during that series, and they were forced to punt the football. Those are rookie mistakes that he will learn from moving forward. And also, like I said, Nick Holes, you have to help him in that situation. Run the football. Even you're already in field goal range. Your defense got a turnover, if I'm not mistaken. So you're already in field goal range. Why not just run the ball and secure the field goal? Secure the points if you have to. Help your young quarterback out by running the ball 3 straight times, whatever you get. Kick the field goal from there. I believe if they kick the field goal and they hit it, they take the lead at that point, which was something they weren't ever able to do throughout the duration of the game. Instead, they called 3 straight passing plays, right? And Cam Ward gets himself sacked out of field goal range, which is, you just can't do that. And I know he'll learn as his game progresses. You know, he'll learn. But I feel like they needed to move towards the running game, like I said, a little bit more. They should have leaned on Tony Pollard. He was doing his thing. Cam Ward, we got a great sample size, 28 attempts as a rookie. I like to see what I seen. And like I said, it wasn't the best debut in the world, but to me, I saw potential, right? And that's all I'm looking for. It's a tough game, y'all. Tough game against a tough team and a tough defense. And I saw that potential. So that's all I was basically looking for when it came to Cam Ward. And number 5, last but not least, Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. What they call him over there? What they call him? They got a nickname for Danny Dimes. Daniel Jones was dicing up the Dolphins like onions on a Sunday night. Gabricio, the Dolphins. They got way too much talent to look as bad as they looked. Ooh, the Dolphins, y'all are stinky. Gabricio, y'all not making the playoffs. And I got a proposition for y'all. Tua Tagovailoa turned the ball over. He's garbage. They paid that man a whole heap of it to be garbage. He's injury prone. He's supposed to be leaning on his accuracy, but he inaccurate as hell. This guy's supposed to be a 70% completion percentage guy. Garbage. Can't get the ball to Tyreek Hill. He's small. Injury prone. What are we doing? I'm going to tell y'all just like this here. I know this was supposed to be about Danny Jones, and I kind of pivoted, but this got to be said. Miami, y'all garbage. Bricio. If I'm Miami and we losing week 4, week 5, week 6, and this shit looking bad, I'm on the phone right now with Andy Reid and them trying to package up the deal to get them boys back Tyreek Hill. Because I know by that time Tyreek Hill is going to be complaining. He's going to want out. And Kansas City needs Tyreek Hill more than they ever needed Tyreek Hill right now. They are depleted at the wide receiver position. Xavier Worthy just ran into Travis Kelce and hurt himself. Rashee Rice is out 6 games. When he comes back, is he going to be ready to go immediately? Travis Kelce is over the hill. He laid up with Taylor Swift. I don't blame you, big dog. Do your thing. But when it comes to this football shit, yeah, he caught a touchdown, but he still looks over the hill to me. Patrick Mahomes needs help if the Kansas City Chiefs plan on doing anything coming out of the AFC. And if I'm them, I'm on his line 1 with the Miami Dolphins trying to get my hands on my former All-Pro stats. If they add Tyreek Hill, That could be another dynamic for the Kansas City Chiefs. But back to Daniel Jones. They got a nickname for him over there. I forgot what it was. Trade everyone and get as much draft capital as possible. This thing is done. I agree. Dolphins definitely need to blow this up because they Bricio. Real talk. The Dolphins are nasty, man. Bad, man. Danny Dimes, though. They had a nickname for Daniel Jones. What was it? Indianapolis Colts. It was something dealing with the Colts. Danny, damn, I forgot it. If y'all know the nickname for Danny Dimes, let me know down in the comments. I completely forgot it. But this dude was dicing up the Dolphins defense. The Dolphins was Gabricio. Dominant performance was on display. It looks like starting him over Anthony Richardson was the right move. I'm sorry. Shane Steichen, obviously he's there. I'm not. He saw something that I didn't. I know it's only week 1, but this looks reminiscent of what Daniel Jones looked like his first year with Brian Daboll. When you got a great offensive-minded coach that knows how to call plays and knows what the hell he's talking about and what he's doing and knows how to put you in the best situation, sometimes it's better to be good than special, like we talked about earlier. I always felt like Danny Dimes wasn't dealt the fair shake, and everybody called him garbage. He was never dealt the fair shake. Barely had any help offensively outside of a injury-prone Saquon Barkley at the time. Elite-level wide receivers didn't exist for the New York Giants at the time. He had 1 year with a rookie Malik Neighbors, so you put him in a situation with the Colts, he's dicing guys up. This team dominated the Miami Dolphins. First opening win since 2013. These guys didn't even punt the football. They didn't punt Danny Dimes didn't punt the football at all. They didn't pump the football. They didn't punt the football. Daniel Jones had an incredible opening day against a woeful Miami Dolphins team. And I just want to give credit where credit is due because a lot of people give flack to Daniel Jones. But I'm here to tell you, he might win Comeback Player of the Year. Daniel Jones might be here. He might be him under Shane Steichen. Real talk. Those are my 5 takeaways from week 1. Indiana Jones. That's what it was. Indiana Jones. That's what it was. It was Indiana Jones. Dolphins lost all hope in week 1. Yeah, they garbage. They need to sell the team. I'm not going to hold you. Indiana Jones. That's what I like that. Daniel Indiana Jones. I rock with that. That was his nickname. I like that. How about Emeka Egbuka, man? How about that Buccaneers game? Emeka Egbuka, this rookie, man. This rookie, this early, this quick, this soon. I know they was ranting and raving about him in training camp, talking about how he could fulfill the Chris Godwin role out of the slot, how he gets open, how him and Baker have a rapport already, but damn. His maturity on the field, his crispy route running, his ability to get open. The clutch touchdown. This kid is the truth. I mean, he didn't light it up statistically, but I like what I saw. It's another game I watched in its entirety. Baker and him seem to have some type of rapport, and I'm here for it, man. So, shout out to Baker Mayfield. Shout out to Emeka Egbuka, that rookie, man. Rookie, possible Rookie of the Year candidate right there. Over Cam Ward. Cam Ward was my pick this year. But damn, Emeka Egbuka look like he 1,000 yards, 10 TD potential. I was watching him and he could have a pretty big rookie year. Yeah, I agree. This kid is man, yo. Like, and that's just week 1. Week 1, opening day, I know he kept that football. I know he did. I know we talked about the Baltimore Ravens earlier, but what's y'all top 5 running backs in the league right now? I need you to let me know down in the comments what your top 5 running backs in the league right now is, because I know I don't want to jump out the window for week 1, but damn, the way Derrick Henry ran all over that Buffalo Bills defense, he looks like he might be the best running back in the league. And I'm a Saquon Barkley guy, but damn, Derrick Henry just changes life wherever he goes. He might still be the best running back in the league. I need to know y'all top 5 running backs right now. Put it in the comments. Real talk. Because Derrick Henry is him. And if you, they say a running back's best friend is a mobile quarterback, right? So if you put an elite level running back with a mobile quarterback like Lamar Jackson, with a mobile quarterback like Jalen Hurts, you're going to see special come from that already special running back. This is what we've seen. This is the pattern that we've seen. So look out for that because, of course, we all know the RPOs, the linebackers freeze. They have to account for the quarterback being an additional rusher. That's one less guy to run after your running back if he's the one that gets the ball. So running back, an elite running back or any running back in general's best friend is a mobile quarterback. I've always, Barkley and Henry are clear 1 and 2, but then it gets complicated after that. For me, yeah, you could swing it. If I had to put together a top 5 running backs in the league right now, I'd probably go, yeah, like you say, Saquon is number 1, Derrick Henry number 2. I'd probably go after that, maybe Jahmyr Gibbs at 3. Maybe I don't know who's 4 and 5. Yeah, Bijan probably 3. Jahmyr Gibbs 4. I forgot about Bijan. I think Bijan is a little bit better than Jahmyr Gibbs at this state in their careers right now. So I would have to go probably Bijan number 3, Jahmyr Gibbs number 4, and 5 could be, I don't know, James Cook maybe. You got Josh Jacobs. You got a lot of elite level running backs out there right now. So Saquon Barkley 1, Derrick Henry 2, Bijan Robinson 3, Jahmyr Gibbs 4, and maybe James Cook 5. Maybe Jonathan Taylor. It's a lot of options that you could choose from. But yeah, an elite level running back's best friend is a mobile quarterback, and we've seen that on display. He gets with Lamar Jackson, 1,900 yards, 17 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley gets with Jalen Hurts, freezing these linebackers out here off this RPO, 2,000 yards. I don't think that's a coincidence. Yeah, Josh Jacobs, Cook, they both could be there. I was watching a little bit of that Houston game until I couldn't anymore, and I'm like, let me get the hell up out of here because I'm looking at this shit, and I'm like, this is nasty, man. C.J. Stroud, what's up? What's up with you, my guy? Did we crown you a little bit too prematurely, my guy? Because, damn, what I'm seeing? Garbage. Bricio. And we tried to give you a little pass last year when you looked a little garbage. You looked a little garbage last year. People was like, offensive line banged up, wide receivers banged up, Gabricio going on over there. People was giving you a pass. And, Joe Mixon's banged up. Wide receivers is still banged up a little bit, but let's keep it a buck. You got enough to get it popping, and I don't see you getting it popping. That offensive line looks garbage. C.J. Stroud, garbage. This offense looks nasty, man. Offense as a whole. Wide receivers, you got Nico Collins. Just close your eyes and throw the ball in the direction of Nico Collins at this point. Nick Chubb looked over the hill. The other guy fumbled. They waiting on Joe Mixon to get back. No touchdowns. Garbage. No touchdowns is Bricio. The Rams defense ain't that elite for you not to be scoring no touchdowns. But on the contrary, your Texans defense is damn sure elite. Only giving up 14 points to the Rams. That Texas defense might be top 5 this year. But it ain't going to mean nothing if C.J. Stroud is garbage. That's just what it is. C.J. Stroud, you got to get it together. Whether you force feeding your number 1 option like Matthew Stafford used to do back in the day, you got to do something to get some points put on the board. Nico Collins coming out here getting 3 catches for 32 yards is completely unacceptable. A lot of y'all quarterbacks sound like y'all forgot that y'all got all pros on the X and Z. Pass the ball. Wide receivers was garbage this week. Nico Collins should never leave a football game with 5 targets. and y'all suck and y'all down. Why are we not targeting this guy? I don't give a damn about double coverage. At this point, you haven't put a touchdown on the board. Bricio, you're trash. Pass Nico Collins the ball or be garbage for the duration of the game, which is what you chose to do instead of just passing the ball to Nico Collins. This is beyond me. We need to have that talk about Russell Wilson. Yeah, he might be over the hill too. Time for him to retire. He was garbage. Garbage. Another guy that didn't know how to get his receiver the ball. Garbage. The amount of targets Malik Neighbors should be having, he shouldn't leave a game with less than 100 yards. Yeah, them Reeboks need to be Reeboks. Russell Wilson is garbage. Bricio. Real talk. But C.J. Stroud, he need to get it together. Speaking of somebody that needed to get it together is that 49ers team, right? They won, but it was nasty, man. I don't like the way the 49ers won that game. It looked bad. And I think that's more indicative of possibly who the Seahawks are offensively more than it is who the 49ers are as a collective unit, because that Seahawks defense made Brock Purdy look like a high school quarterback. They will be elite this season. The Seahawks lost this game more than the 49ers won this game. And on the contrary, right? CMC did look healthy. It was a lot of rumbling. CMC missing practice. Oh, the calf, the Achilles, his accolades hurt. Look, CMC showed up and he showed out. He touched the ball 31 times on the day. True workhorse running back. CMC is a guy that we forgot to mention in the top 5 as well. He's special. Christian McCaffrey is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting for this team, because when you force Brock Purdy to do more than his talent allows him to do, you get shit like that. If this team was a little bit better offensively, they would have blew the doors off the 49ers. That's how bad to me Brock Purdy played. And I can't believe it was a point in time. Y'all was trying to tell me Brock Purdy was top 10. He was better than Jalen Hurts. Y'all sick. Brock Purdy ain't nowhere near the level of Jalen Hurts. So I feel like, in my opinion, Brock Purdy better get his shit together. Even though they ended up pulling out the win, they lost George Kittle. Jennings is banged up. Ricky Parcell came out there. He showed up. He showed that he's the number one. He had a great game. CMC, he showed that he could still be a workhorse guy. Brock Purdy needs to settle his ass down in that pocket, complete throws, stop trying to do too much. If it's there, take it. If it's not, throw the ball away, get the ball out of his hands quicker, utilize the check down game, which is something he really didn't do in this game. I know it sounds like I'm critiquing the team that won, but like I said, I feel like the Seahawks lost this game more than the 49ers won it. Ricky is nice, but he needs Kittle back ASAP. Kittle's out 4 to 6 weeks, man. Like I said, Kittle is basically a lineman at this point. I mean, Kittle is talented, but he just can't stay on the field. Your best ability is availability, and George Kittle just doesn't have it. He never does. He's so injury prone. Soon as he got hurt, tightness in his hamstring, he went to the locker room, changed out of everything. He ain't even try to come back and rally or leave the fans wondering if he can get back into the game. Hell no. He said, nope, it's over with. I tightened in my hamstring a little tight. He took off everything. He had on 49ers gear and a cap like mine that said 49ers on the top. He was out the game. Don't even think it's an opportunity or a chance that I'm getting back in this game. He an offensive lineman at this point. I'm just keeping it a buck. Last episode I spoke on boom or bust, right? Teams that I felt unexpectedly would boom, and a team that I felt unexpectedly would bust. My team that I felt unexpectedly would bust was the Detroit Lions. If y'all don't remember, in the offseason, I called that the Detroit Lions lost way too much in free agency, including their offensive coordinator, which I think people like to undermine coaching, head coaching, assistant coaches, coordinators. They're all important. They're just as important as one another. The most underrated aspect of sports in general, basketball, football, hockey, whatever sport you play, is coaching, because they don't go out on the field and perform. But their job is to get the players prepared in the most perfect way that they can, as close to perfect as they can. And I just feel like the Lions losing Ben Johnson, people kind of shrugged it off. You know, John Morton, whatever. We're going to see what happens. But I think losing Ben Johnson, you could see the offense does not look the same. They got destroyed by the Packers, albeit the Packers do have a good defense, especially with the addition of Micah Parsons, and he did get a sack with the team. That offense does not look the same without Ben Johnson. 6 points is nasty work for an offense that was putting up 50 on folks' head top. Them boys put up like 50 on the Vikings last year. That offense looked so discombobulated. No doubt about it. They were garbage. I was looking at this shit like I had a hunch that Detroit would have a down year, but I didn't think the offense would look this bad. Like you couldn't run the football. You couldn't pass the football. You couldn't do nothing. Albeit, like I say, the Packers do have a serviceable defense, but they not the number one defense in the league, and the Detroit Lions made them look like they were the number one defense in the league. I'm sorry. Lions, y'all need to get it together or you will be exactly how I anticipated. Gabricio. They look bad on both sides of the ball. Facts. Facts. All right. I'm not going to hold y'all here too much longer. I'm going to do my OG's top performers. So I will be raising my voice a little bit because I got to chop this up and put it on social media for everybody else to see. And I will be speaking with a little bit more energy. Let's get it. Week 1 is in the books, so you know what time it is. OG's top performers, and you know the rules. If you want to get in, you better win. Now let's get it popping. Number 5, I'm going to go with the rookie, Emeka Ibuka. What he had? 4 catches, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns and a game winner. Slow him down. We could be looking at the potential rookie of the year. Real talk. Number 4, the entire Indianapolis Colts defense. They walked the Dolphins from the deep end back to shore and straight unfamiliar territory. What the boys had. 8 points allowed, all in garbage time. All in garbage time. 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, 3 sacks. Them boys was balling out. Number 3, give me Justin Herbert, the guy I've been a little bit disrespectful towards, but he showed up and he showed out. He said, look, Steve Spagnuolo, you want me to pass the ball? Watch me pass this ball. 318 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ooh, if they can pass the ball like this while being to run the ball, like how I know they like to run the ball, look out for the Chargers this season. They will be nasty. Number 2, give me Indiana Jones. Daniel Jones, what he had? 272 yards, 3 total touchdowns in his debut. And they gave him a nickname, Indiana Jones. I love it. Slow him down. He was balling in his debut. We love to see it. Danny Dimes has not been dealt a fair shake his whole career. 1 season with an elite level offensive coordinator, offensive mind, Shane Steichen. And this is what we get. And number 1, Josh Allen. Over 400 plus total yards. 4 total touchdowns. He is your top performer. Real talk. Whew. I love doing that. I love doing that. I love OG's top performance. Give me hype. Like I'm hyped now. But anyways, I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. I appreciate everybody that watches this episode. It's always fun. Tuesdays, anywhere from 6 to 8 p.m., I will be kicking up the live stream right here on Twitch. If you can't catch it on Twitch, of course, you can catch it on my YouTube, OG the Beast _sports. Follow me on all socials. Hit that like button, hit that follow button. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about what I do. I have fun, man. I just want to have fun with you guys, and I love chatting with you guys and having these conversations. So if you want to join the live, you can. If not, you know, it'll be all over social media. You're not going to miss it. Trust me. So once again, I had fun. This was fun. I'll see y'all next week. OG out. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that sub button. Also, drop a like on the content. And while you at it, check out these 2 videos you see on the screen. OG out.